Hello everyone, let's get to the solution of the problem longest palindromic substring in JavaScript. But before that, in the previous video, just to give you a very brief refresher, we discussed the expanding centers approach right here, where we said that we will take a center, we will check whether we have a palindrome in the center. If yes, we will expand our radius, so to speak, and we'll check if that is a palindrome. If yes, we'll keep expanding it till we either run out of the palindromes or we run out of the string itself, and then we return the substring that is the longest palindrome in with that particular center. So that is what we have to follow. We follow this for odd palindromes, we follow that for even palindromes. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right. So let's start off with a layer of abstraction where I say that there is an expand function that does this expansion for us, returns a substring to us, and let's just assume that it's something magical that takes the pointers I and j and it returns the substring. All right, let's just assume that there is some code over here that works, and we'll write the rest of the code, which is mentioned in this algorithm as I did in the previous video, that we iterate over each character, each index, and we form a center. We expand for odd palindromes, we expand for even palindromes. So let's do that. So we will store our answer in this string right here. All right, that is our basic loop. That is the iteration that we will be doing. Now, what do we have to do inside this iteration? We have to expand for odd palindromes and for even palindromes. And of course, in each case, we will check whether the substring that we have received from this function is the longest or not. If it is, we will update our answer variable. All right. So let the odd substring be received in such a manner. And this is also something I discussed previously, that in case of odd palindromes, we take a single center which starts from the same point, right? So we're passing the index I itself. But in case of even palindromes, that is not the case. In case of even palindromes, we take one character and the character right next to it. Right? This is the left pointer and the character on its right will become our right pointer. So that will be I and I plus 1. Correct? And I told you, right, we are assuming that a substring will be returned over here. So we simply check if odd dot length, that is the length of the substring returned from that function, if it is greater than the length of the answer that we have so far. If that is the case, then we will simply update our answer, and we will do the same for the even case. All right. And lastly, right outside this loop, once we're done with everything, we will return our answer. Now the question remains, how do we actually expand it? Well, I gave you the blueprint for this in the previous video, and we will simply type this out. That is all we have to do. Okay, so we have two indexes, two pointers, left and right, L and R. So let's initialize them. Left pointer is found at the ith index, and the right pointer is by implication found on the left index. Sorry, the j index, my bad. Now, the condition that we have to check is exactly this, and this is what I'll write down over there. So while my left pointer is still, as a part of the string, that is greater than or equal to 0, and and the characters found over here are equal, then and only then expand. Expand in both directions, where we decrement the left pointer and we increment the right pointer. Correct? And of course, as we discussed, either we will reach the end of the palindrome or we will reach the end of the string on either side or both sides in some cases, in which case we will return the substring. We can use the slice function for that. And the slice function takes two arguments. Okay, it takes two arguments. The two arguments being the left index of the palindrome and the right index. So you may ask, why are we not decreasing the right index? Because we're also incrementing it here, right? Because let's say we reach a case where left becomes -1. In that case, makes sense that we're increasing left and then forming the substring. But why are we not doing the same for right? That is because the slice function takes the rightmost index but actually ignores it. It returns all the characters right before it. So that is the functionality of the slice function, and that is what we'll be using. Let's try to run this. All right, the basic cases seem to be accepted. Let's submit this. And we have an answer that has been accepted. And that says all the problem, longest palindromic substring.